In response to last week, we all know here that last week up at Charlotte Beach Park that there was fights both Wednesday night and over the weekend. Wednesday, unfortunately, the timing coincided with the Concert by the Shore series that's put on by Monroe County. So we want to be very clear that the fights that occurred Wednesday night had nothing to do with the Concert by the Shores event. It was senior skip day within the city school district, and what we had roving groups of teenagers and juveniles that were working away across different parts of the city causing issues, and unfortunately they ended up at Charlotte Beach where there was a concert series going on and disrupted that concert. So what we've done moving forward, obviously we got to go through, we can't allow that to happen again, especially the fights on the weekend as well. So we've been working with our partners, both at Monroe County, as public safety, as well as the sheriff's office and the state police, of how do we come up with a plan, and the business owners there, and how do we come up with a plan to make sure that things stay safe up there. So as a result, on Wednesday nights, so starting tomorrow night with the Concert by the Shore series, there's going to be a huge increase in law enforcement personnel up there. So beyond the Rochester Police Department, we've expanded our special events detail that's up there. There's going to be at least half a dozen officers from our special events detail. Our patrol unit from Lake Section is going to be providing officers during it. The sheriff's office is going to be providing deputies. The state police are providing a set of troopers up there, as well as Monroe County Probation is going to be assigning teams up there, as well as Monroe County Security and City Security. So there's going to be a significant security law enforcement presence during the Concert by the Shore series, because we want to make sure that's a prime event here in the city of Rochester in coordination with Monroe County that it's a great summer event that over 1,000 people attended last week, that we want to make sure that that's a safe event to go to, and that's what we're working towards tomorrow night. Beyond that, looking into the future, looking at the weekends, weather dependent, obviously, because we're not going to spend resources up there on cold, rainy days, but weather dependent, we're also going to have an additional, our tactical unit and our traffic enforcement unit are going to be up there from the Rochester Police Department conducting targeted, disorderly traffic safety, all sorts of enforcement in the parking lots in the beach area to ensure that targeting any sort of groups of juveniles before they're able to get into a point of creating mischief, that we're targeting those groups, and we're targeting those that are creating a disorderly environment in the parking lots from that escalating and nipping it right in the bud at the start of it and keeping that safe environment at the beach. Other partners we're working with, we're also working with RTS. We have a special events detail at the transit center, so working with our members of RTS at the transit center, our officers there. Our staff duty officer now has the authority to turn buses around. So if we have large groups of teens going to the beach in order to try to create problems at the beach, we're going to turn that bus around. We're not going to allow that bus up to Charlotte Beach up there to create problems. We're also working with the Monroe Crime Analysis Center for live intelligence at the time, monitoring social media, monitoring different groups that are out there. And if we pick up any sort of information that any sort of events are being planned or fights are being planned or any chaos being planned at the beach, again, we're going to proactively attack that. We're going to go after those known offenders. We're going to go after those that are trying to create chaos at the end of the day, a family park. So we're going to target them as well. There's an analyst assigned to it, and those analysts are going to feed our staff duty officer and our patrol officers, our special events officers, that information real time so that we can act on it. And finally, we're also continuing to meet with business owners in the area, because we understand this is bringing a lot of, there's an effect on the businesses in the area. So we're continuing to work with the business owners, because we don't want to lock something down and then stop patrons from going to those businesses. We have to balance public safety while also encouraging as many people to attend the beach as we can in that Charlotte area to make sure that those businesses continue to thrive in the area. So that's also a focus of us. So moving forward, that's our plan for tomorrow night and Wednesdays throughout the month of June. That's our plan for this weekend. We also know the Juneteenth holiday is coming up, which also coincides with the first day of summer for the city school district. So obviously we're going to have an increased presence there. That's a full operations plan similar to our Memorial Day footprint, where again, increased number of RPD, increased number of sheriff's office, probation, New York State Police, all of our partners up there, so that we can make sure that that Juneteenth holiday is a great day at the beach for everybody that wants to go up there and enjoy it. And those that want to bring trouble are going to be held accountable. We're not going to allow it. We're not going to stand for it. We're going to target those that are bringing trouble, and we're going to hold them accountable for their actions. And again, like any other plan, we're going to evaluate this as it moves on. We're going to evaluate it based on weather. If it's a cold, rainy weekend, we're going to deploy our resources elsewhere. If it's an 80-degree, 90-degree weekend, we're going to deploy additional resources that we can, sunny weekend, so we can make sure that we have those proper resources in place. And then finally, leading up to Charlotte with the increased traffic, we know that Lake Avenue can be a corridor of safety problems in regards to vehicles, speeding, other traffic issues along Lake Avenue. So we do have, and I'm not going to tell you when, we have multiple traffic safety checkpoints set up for Lake Avenue throughout the month of June, and then also going into July, in which our traffic enforcement unit and other partners will be out there conducting traffic safety along that Lake Avenue corridor, making sure everybody can get in and out of Charlotte as safely as possible. Director, I covered a lot, so I apologize.
No problem, that's great. So really, from a County of Monroe perspective, in addition to the personnel that's being assigned there, the county executive put together a working group to be able to identify what infrastructure changes we can make there. And one of the things that he's done in partnership with the president of the Monroe County Legislature is move up a capital improvement project for, if you will, gated opportunities at the parking lot so that we can have access control in and out of that particular area and monitor that more effectively. So that is going to go before the legislature tonight. The county executive is obviously very committed to make the park a safe and fun opportunity for people to attend with their families, and really in the tradition of what Charlotte Beach Park is all about. I will also say, I'm going to ad-lib here a little bit, Captain, but for somebody who's been in this career for a long period of time, I can say that Monroe County has a very rich history of all law enforcement, public safety agencies working together. This isn't something new. This has been going on for decades, and I think it's one of the really cornerstones of public safety in the county of Monroe.
Deputy Hood, you got anything to add?
Sure.
Over here.
On the spot.
Oh, come on.
There we go.
So just to piggyback off of what the director just said, what's important here for everybody to understand is that all of these agencies, all of these groups inside Monroe County are coming together to work in a partnership to ensure the safety of everybody. They can go to the beach, have a good time, enjoy the nice weather, the good music, all that stuff. The other important part here is, like Captain Bellows said, it's, coincided with Senior Skip Day. These are juveniles, these are teens going out and causing havoc, but like you saw last week, we arrested somebody with a gun, so that has the potential to get a lot worse. So that's why we're taking it serious, and we're going to try to nip it in the bud and stop it before anything gets too far in the name of safety.
All right.
Sorry, I got one other thing.
No, that's okay. We're scooching back over. All right.
So as the director here said, I mean, the Rochester Police Department, we're over 100 officers short. We rely upon partnerships, and that's one of the great things here is standing next to me is two great partners within our department, within our community. Safety is not can't be isolated. And working with our fellow agencies, the state police, the sheriff's office, the county, the town and village agencies around us, we're always partnerships, we're always working together, whether that be our stolen vehicle details, whether that be our ATV and dirt bike details. Public safety is a priority for everybody here, and all of these agencies coming together. That's a testament to that dedication. That's a testament as to why violent crime is down 30-40% here in the city of Rochester just from last year alone. And so we're going to continue to drive those numbers down, and that's those partnerships. Stolen vehicles are down. Our ATV dirt bikes, we've got nearly 100 of them so far this year that have worked their way out to being crushed, right? And so we're looking at these public safety concerns and we're attacking them. We're laser focused on getting those that are perpetrating the crime, not just casting a wide net and grabbing whatever pops up there. We're going after those specifically that are committing those crimes, that are creating that havoc in our city. The Monroe Crime Analysis Center has been a great partner with us, identifying those individuals that are creating those problems, and that's who we're going to be targeting as these events move forward, while at the same time providing safety for all.
Captain, historically, the beach, as soon as it gets nice out, kids wreak havoc down there. It's happened as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Why haven't you guys done this a long time ago? I mean, I know you guys do targeted stuff, but this is, this has been happening for ages.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're always deploying our resources in the best. We don't have infinite resources. We can't just increase presence everywhere we can go. We've got an increased presence at the East End Bar District with the special event zone there on Saturday nights. We've had the ATV details going on regularly, the stolen vehicle details going on regularly. We have to prioritize as we go forward of what we're going after. With our non-fatal shooting team, I just put out 2 juvenile arrests for a non-fatal shooting for attempted murder over on Clifford Avenue. We're getting guns every night. We have to focus And so we've had details up at the beach. There was a detail up at the beach last week that thankfully kept that from escalating any further. But what we've looked at is, okay, where's our most appropriate deployment of resources? And what we found is that we need to increase those resources at the beach. And that's what we're doing in response to that last week. We have to work with RTS. We have to increase the details at the transit center so that we can ensure safety for everybody going in and out of the transit center as well. At times it is a little bit kind of chasing problems, but we continue to work our way through that, and that's where it's wonderful to have the Sheriff's Office, probation, the state police, some of those partners that are helping us to bolster what resources we do have available so that we can attack these problems and we can create a safe environment for as many places as we can.
Just to go back on the years that this has been going on, what have you guys learned in these number of years to kind of help you each year to you said you talked about not having infinite resources. What have you guys what have you guys learned over these couple of years to kind of help you focus and better deploy resources in situations?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of this comes from some of these juveniles. Lately, the last few years, it's really been juveniles that have been out there creating havoc in a lot of different places. So as you've seen, Lilac Fest, for example, this year, we had issues in the past, and over the last several years, have gotten it better and better and better. And this year, I'm not aware of any problems at the Lilac Festival. I think there was one or two occasional disturbances that security was able to handle. There was no problems at the Lilac Fest that rose to the level of police involvement. And that's where we continue to work through, and that's years of putting that festival plan together and adapting every year, especially with the juveniles going around. And so with the beach, we had issues last week, and that's where we're continuing to improve those year-to-year plans as to prevent those issues from happening. And these juveniles, unfortunately, juveniles and criminals in general like to, they're also working as to how they can defeat what we're doing and how they can end up in places to create that havoc. So it's kind of a back and forth, and so we're continuing to learn, and that's where we've focused in. We've learned from what happened last week. We've worked with some of our partners to develop some responses to that, and that's what we're out here talking to the public, because we want to make sure people know when they come out to Concerts by the Shore, especially tomorrow night, that there's going to be a large police presence and that they should feel safe being able to come to such a great event like that.
It might be too soon to tell, but is it the same group of juveniles you guys are thinking at this point?
Same group in terms of what?
Like people in the group, the same people.
From same as Wednesday
Other
night.
instances.
So
Wednesday and Saturday.
so obviously Wednesday night the same group went from the beach to the transit center and then created more issues at the transit center. As for Saturday night, I don't know if it's the exact same kids, but obviously the nexus that we have is those juveniles, and the combination is, you have to imagine some of those involved Wednesday were also involved in Saturday. Yes.
I would just like to build on that, if I can, regarding the JEDS program, because obviously juveniles have caused some major problems in our community, whether it's the stolen vehicles and things of that nature. So the contact that we have with juveniles, especially within the probation department, we have a real good success rate. Is once we have that contact, we have the ability to modify their behavior and prevent further activity. So the recidivism rate isn't there. Although they may offend, we get them through the system in a manner that allows us to modify their behavior and prevent them from reoffending again. And that's one of the, if you will, positive aspects of probation being on site, because they have the ability to identify these individuals and perhaps intervene in such a way where they don't reoffend.